Okay, Coach, welcome back. This is week 9. Coming up to look at Vandalia. We're going to look back a little bit at Troy. Just get your first impressions from the Troy loss and kind of what happened there.
You know, it definitely was a big emotional loss. I think a lot of times you put a lot of time and effort into games, and when you do lose, you kind of forget what that feeling's like. And obviously, we hadn't had that yet this year, and it definitely was for the G-Walk North title, so there's a little bit more emphasis on the importance of the game, and it meant a lot to the kids, and we didn't put our best foot forward, and give a lot of that credit to Troy. But the kids have done a nice job bouncing back. We don't bring them in on Saturdays unless they got a lift, or unless they have to go to the JV game, but we bring the varsity guys in Sunday night, and they were able to work their way through it, and Sunday night was a good productive lift and film session, and we were ready to go on Monday towards Vandalia.
So Isaiah's held to a season-low 68 yards. Talk a little bit about what Troy's defense did and kind of their discipline in handling Isaiah.
Yeah, I don't think they did anything overly special. They're just a really good defensive unit. Like you said, they're extremely disciplined. You know, they couldn't just key in on Isaiah because you also have Andre back there and who can run and throw the ball. So they didn't do anything overly special. You know, they probably maybe had a couple guys closer to the box than normal. But for the most part, it's a well-disciplined defense who does a nice job of each kid doing their job, doing their assignment, and they gave us some fits all night. And we knew that. We knew going in they were a pretty good defense. It wasn't any big surprise to us, and our kids were up to the challenge. But unfortunately, we just didn't put our best foot forward. And like I said, a lot of that credit goes to Troy.
Yeah, the first half, Troy scores 20 points. Halftime, we come out, we stop them on defense, or stop their offense, and we get the ball. We go right down the field and score. But overall, pretty tough night for Andre. Couple of fumbles, couple of interceptions. But also, he hits 7 different receivers for 19 completions, throws 3 touchdown passes. Kind of talk about Andre's maturity in the passing game and maybe a little bit about Coach Morris and kind of Andre's development there.
Yeah, no, Andre's development has been good this year as far as being a little bit more of a passer. At the beginning of the year, I think a lot of that, his throwing game was based off of his legs and also of, more or less handing the ball off to Isaiah or some of his run reads. And he's doing a lot better job of having to sit in the pocket and have to make some throws because we're going to need him to. And obviously, last game was one of those games where we did have some opportunities downfield a little bit just because of how they set their defense up. And he was able to make some throws from the pocket and also with his legs a little bit. But he's also got to do a little bit better job of kind of knowing situations and and hit back of his mind, every play is going to be a touchdown. And you like to have that in a kid. He's a great competitor. But, sometimes he took some chances, and when you take a chance, some of those chances against really, really good defenses, they're going to make you pay.
So another defensive player that kind of want to highlight here is sophomore Ryan Cagle. He's 3rd in the entire G-Walk in tackles with about 80 tackles. Probably will get close to 100 by the end of the season. Kind of talk about him and putting the sophomore at middle linebacker and what he does for the team.
Yeah, Ryan comes from a great family, a good football family from the Sydney community. Tough, hard-nosed kid, probably a little bit undersized right now. He's kind of like a little baby deer out there, not overly strong and that kind of stuff. But he's a tough, hard-nosed kid with a great work ethic. And, we're looking for big things from him for the future. Obviously, he's up there in tackles and the G-Walk and all that kind of stuff. But we look more about his stability and what he brings to defense. And, he's just a sophomore. I think next year he's going to have a big leap in the offseason as far as strength and conditioning. He's a 3-sport athlete coming up, playing basketball and also doing baseball. So his strength and conditioning is going to have to improve a little bit. But overall, having an understanding of the defense has been big. And when you put a sophomore at linebacker, you kind of have a little bit of apprehension about that a little bit. But Ryan, he's going to be all right for us. He's going to continue to keep improving. A lot of that tackles comes down from our big D tackles in the middle. Tony Strayman and Devin Rogers are eating up some of them double teams, so he's able to come over top of those. And he does a nice job coming downhill, and he's going to continue to improve for us.
Great. So let's look forward to this week with Vandalia, going on the road for the first time in a couple of weeks. Talk a little bit about the Vandalia program and what they look like.
No, Vandalia is still a solid program. I think when you get to G-Walk North, it's just more good programs one after another. They have a good history, a good following. It's going to be a good crowd when we head down there. Nice facility. They're 3-5 right now, and I played a pretty tough schedule. They opened up the year with the defending or the runners-up from last year in Massillon Perry, and have grown through a pretty tough schedule, just like most of the teams that we play. Offensively, about 50-50 pass run. They have a nice returning quarterback back there that can really throw it around, sit in the pocket, kind of in the mold of the kid from Piqua a little bit. Not much of a runner, but can throw it around a little bit. And defensively, still good, solid linebackers as they normally do that come downhill and want to smack you a little bit. And we're probably going to see the biggest defensive line that we've faced all year, if ever. They've got really, really big defensive ends, and they got two monsters sitting there in the middle that will plug up the inside run game. So it's going to be another big challenge for us. You know, they're not playing for a GWAC title or playoffs or anything like that. And sometimes when you get that kind of team, they got nothing to lose. So we're going to have to be prepared for a lot of different things.
And not a lot of success against Vandalia over the last few years. Over this is your 7th year playing them. We haven't beaten them of all the regular schools that we play in our conference, as well as Bellefontaine and St. Mary's. We've beaten everybody else, but not Vandalia. And they've beaten us by an average of about 31 points. Does that add anything to that, to be able to go down there?
Yeah, I guess I never even thought about that. That's not a team that, you know, me personally has beaten as a head coach. And there have been some blowouts, and I think the one year we had a pretty close game where we went for 2 at the end. So I think that'll end up being a 1-point game. So when you throw the 1-point in game in there, when we're averaging 30-point losses, you can tell what those other games were like a little bit. No, I guess I don't think about it too much personally. I know the kids don't care that I haven't beat them, so it's not really going to matter at all. This is a big win for us because we got to figure out. This is going to kind of tell us what kind of team we are, what kind of senior leadership we have. Are we able to bounce back from the loss? And the kids have done a nice job. I thought the Troy week we had one of our best weeks of practices, but you know, just because you have a good week of practice doesn't guarantee anything either. But the kids have done a nice job this week, bouncing back. Been another good week of practice, and you know, I think we're going to go down there with our best foot forward, and we're not too worried about that Troy loss anymore because we're trying to start another streak.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, Coach. Good luck on Friday night. This has been Brett Bickle. Stingers up.